track is starting to get treacherous. Paul Dumbrell, who put in such quick laps there, dropped into the 210s with Russell Ingall a few laps back.
He doesn't take his shades off, does he? He's going all the way up the top of the mountain in rainy conditions. This is the storm that we'd predicted early on. It finally came through. At the moment, it's only light rain, but that's enough to cause havoc around the mountain. Let's take you through this order as it scans across your screen there. First is Ingall and Richards. Second is car number 1, Scaife and Jim Richards. Third, car 11, Perkins and Dumbrell. Fourth is car number 2, Bright and Mazira.
And a crucial stop here for HRT. Mark Scaife gets in. Holden Racing Team well drilled. Get the screen cleaned as well.
Limiter is on. Pit limiter is on.
Gets the instructions from the crew. Fuel going in to make sure he makes the distance. Longest part of a pit stop now is this refuel with the flow regulator. There it is.
Go, go, go!
Gets the command to get out there.
Gonna wait for that.
Beyond that one.
And they've got fresh tyres on as well. So here comes Mark Scaife, weaving side to side, trying to generate a little bit more heat in those tyres as he heads out on what will be the closing sector of the Bob Jane T-March 1004. This car, car 1, the only car ahead of them is Russell Ingall. And I believe he's still yet to make his stop.
Could it be a 1-2 for Castrol Perkins Racing? Stephen Richards in the lead. Larry Perkins, the boss and the manager, behind him. And Mark Scaife is on a charge. He's taking a crack at Larry right now. He was all over Larry from the word go. I tell you who the big winner out of that restart was the man right behind Scaife at the moment. Young Rick Kelly. He jumped up 2 positions, went past Jason Bright and Tony Longhurst. Let's see, with 20 laps to go, what the straight line speed situation is like. Here comes Scaife down the outside of LP. He's got clean air now coming into this right-hander, side by side. Paintwork being swapped, or is it? Scaife goes through. Larry gets a lot of
he's gone way off
contact. They've all gone shooting off. He's going to have to stay on. He's going to have to get back on and rejoin the race. Scaife does so. They're all sideways. Oh, man, they've gone through the roof here on the first lap back.
Look at Rick Kelly, though. Didn't he capitalise on that? He moved his way up. Now he's in front of Scaife. Went down the outside of the circuit as they hit that lap traffic. Look at this. Jason Bright sniffing around there. He can see an opportunity.
Just let him pass was the order. Just let him pass. He doesn't want to let all of them pass. That's his dilemma at the moment. Well, I don't know if Bright knows what's going on here.
Oh, Bright's gone for it. He just took opportunity of that. He could see that Rick was opening the door for Larry. He took advantage of it, so he had to let 2 cars through.
Well, that piles the pressure on Stephen Richards, doesn't it? Greg Murphy's in that line as well, but he is a lap back in car number 51.
Could have a safety car.
Yeah, we've got another car in the sand trap right down at the end of Murray's on the approach to the main straight, the front straight.
They have to let Larry Perkins back in front of them. Apparently the pass, they feel there was a balk in the pass going up Mountain Straight, so they said, look, you can readdress it now under the safety car. If you don't, we're going to deal car 2 a drive-through penalty. So they've gotten on the radio to Jason Bright. He feels that he's passed Larry fair and square. But that's not the way the other guys are seeing it. They want it readdressed straight away. Now, the last update we had on Mark Scaife was that the rubbish that is contained in the radiator duct area hasn't affected the temperature too much, but that's for now. We'll keep an eye on it for you.
So the situation there means that Jason Bright has had to let Larry Perkins go in front of him, which he's now done.
But will he let Rick Kelly back in?
Well, look at Scaife. Takes aim straight away at the restart, and he'll join the race in number 1 position. He gets a little bit of a kiss, I think, from Stephen Richards in car number 16, but car number 1's gone out to the front. Could that be the turning point of this race? 16 laps to go. Mark Scaife, a 3-time winner here on the mountain, the defending champion, the defending touring car champion, has both Stephen Richards and Larry Perkins behind him, and Jason Bright is behind them. 4 Commodores lead it out. Rick Kelly makes up the 5th Commodore and the first Ford in the hunt.
Tell you what I'd be worried about, Matty, is that air intake. You can see even more than half. 2/3 of the radiator on car 1 now is blocked by that plastic bag. Look at that. It's almost like he's picked up another bag, or it's moving its way across the radiator. Just Craig Lowes, that raises an interesting... I remember listening to the driver's briefing, they were saying under safety car you are not allowed to do any overlapping. You had to sit in single file until you cross the control line. That'll be an interesting question for the stewards there.
Well, I guess it never ceased to amaze me that obviously Scaife is obviously trying to get out in front, get some clean air for that radiator and keep the engine cool. but it never ceases to amaze me, some of these decisions, like with Larry and the incident with Rick Kelly and everything else. And it's poor old Bridie now who's got all his work in front of him again.
Well, that was distinctly told to us by Tim Shankin. No overlapping under the safety car
until you cross the control line.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a flat spotted tyre. There goes Jason.
Down the inside.
I was going to say, actually, I thought Larry would have made a lot more difficult. That would have been the widest Commodore out there at that stage. He's probably going to allow Stephen to get on with the job and try and track down Scafie.
From Greg Murphy's lapped Kmart Commodore. Look at the battle here. Rick Kelly starting to apply the blowtorch to the back of the Castrol Commodore. He sneaks up the inside of Perkins. Perkins gives him just enough racing room. And the 19-year-old goes through to 4th place.
Wouldn't it be fantastic to see him on the podium here, Rick Kelly?
Look at that on the left-hand side of the car, the blue one. So he's got just about the whole intake covered now.
Richo has actually picked up a little bit of time on Scaife, a 1/10 of a second, in fact. It isn't enough with the laps remaining, but still something to watch. 5.5 seconds is the lead. It was 5.6, and that is, of course, Scaife's partner, Tony. Strawn watching on from pit lane. Of course, she's just as full of anxiety as any of the drivers are, co-drivers, I should say, back in the garage.
I'll tell you what, Matty, I've just heard a radio call. They're telling Mark to short shift, trying to minimise the revs, try and keep the temperatures down in the car. He'd be feeling it now.
And this is the other one. Look at this. Watch it scoop it up. Scaife comes around the corner and collects some more debris.
Well, looks like he's got a couple of brake ducts blocked there as well. If you're wondering at home what short shifting is, it's when they don't rev the engine to its full 7,500 RPM rev limit.
Still got a 5-second gap.
Down to 5 seconds. He's lost 0.4 on that lap.
Robbie Starr telling him to knock it back, mate, knock it back. He's telling him to pull the revs out of it, slow it down, try and reduce those engine temperatures. They've got to get it home.
It's creeping up about 1 or 2 degrees on lap. Then we've got another bag in it, and then it went up a fair lump. So just to see, mate.
The nerves are up here, boys. The hairs on the back of the neck have gone up, I think.
As the temperature goes up, the times are starting to go down. That's the split time. Look at that. I said more green boxes is bad news. That last lap, Stephen Richards was 0.2 of a second quicker than the car in front of him, Mark Scaife. And Scaife brings it around. Look at that. Look who's chasing. He's so close now. He's getting closer with every metre. They cross over. I'll tell you the times as it goes. It's now down to 3.4 seconds in between Mark Scaife and Stephen Richards. So it's well and truly dropped. This is the final lap, the final fling. Can the HRT car hold on, or will the Castrol Perkins Commodore of Stephen Richards go zooming past him? 5 straight victories. He's won 6 rounds. And listen to the roar on the top of the mountain. The Holden fans love it. They probably don't know the kind of situation up there that Mark Scaife has got underneath his feet, because he's had to fight this Holden Commodore the whole way. The last 10 laps have been an extraordinary story of just holding on to what you've got, and what he had was a 5-second lead. It's now down to 3 seconds. Down Conrod Straight for the very final time. You can see Richards. He'd know that he's in the mirror. There he is, Stephen Richards, with lights on. The gap is too big, and Mark Scaife is going to do it for the Holden Racing team. Jim Richards will collect his 7th crown. Mark Scaife will collect his 4th individual crown. This will be their 3rd Bathurst win together. They did it in 91 and 92 in a Nissan, and now they're going to do it in 2002. And isn't that fitting that Mark Scaife goes around Peter Brock, and Mark Scaife will go back to back at Bathurst. He secures another Australian touring car title. Stephen Richards comes across in 2nd position. What a finish.
Fantastic.
Well, Jimmy, that's win number 7. How good does that feel?
No, it feels pretty good, really, Rusty. It's, fantastic.
It was touch and go, wasn't it?
It was, yes. No, it was a good battle, but we had the right guy in the car, that's for sure.
How close was it? We know the temperature got right up there. How much of an issue was it?
Well, it got fairly high, but then it plateaued out, and then it didn't go any higher. But it was leaking water out in that, but no, it got there.
Wonderful job, mate. You did a terrific job today. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.